Here now with more, General Anthony Tata, who has more than 3 decades of public service as a military officer, also the author of Direct Force. Good to see you tonight, Anthony. Thank you for being here, General.
Great to be with you, Martha.
So this is, first the issue that there is a growing number of authoritarian leaders in various countries around the world. Is that, does that put us sort of in a pre-World War II environment?
I think it might, Martha. I think what we really have to look at is the past 9 years. So starting about 9 years ago when President Obama got elected, he had graduated from the Jeremiah Wright School of Foreign Policy. A weaker America makes for a stronger world. And so he dealt with our adversaries in that fashion in such a way that we were no longer, in my opinion, Reagan's shining city on the hill in a beacon of freedom and democracy for others to view and aspire to be. And so what President Obama and really a feckless national security staff did was level the playing field so that there were no hills. And a good example is dealing directly with Iran on nuclear weapons, who weren't supposed to have nuclear weapons. We just dealt with them as if they were a peer. And so you've got now China, North Korea, Russia, Iran, Hungary, Egypt, all of these regimes now taking on more authoritarian tones because under the Obama administration, we created a power vacuum because we gave away our superpower abilities. And now what you've seen is President Trump is reasserting American hegemony and dominance, and that very well could be the catalyst for what happened in China.
Well, let me ask you, as Trace pointed out, it's problematic. There's not that much that you can do about the growing hegemonic desires of China. You look at their expansion in the South China Sea. There's 1 billion people, as Trace pointed out. You don't necessarily want to destabilize that government. And I think about the person who expressed their dissent to his decision to be an endless authoritarian figure in China. I don't know what's going to happen to that person. I mean, it's not an environment where there is much that the United States can do to counter this, is there?
Well, there's always that give and take. Their economy, Martha, relies a lot on our economy and vice versa. And there's that interdependence there. And so we have to deal with China. We will deal with China. President Trump, in preparation for this segment, I reread the national security strategy that the president's team put out in December. And it very clearly identifies China and Russia as peer competitors that are trying to take on more totalitarian roles with their people to fight off free people, free information, and free markets, and to suppress their people and grow their military so they can be more peer competitors. And it's in the wake of this very weak American foreign policy in the past. And so what we need to do now is stand up to these countries such as China and make sure they understand that we are here. And in the South China Sea, we've been skirmishing with them for a long time in the South China Sea.
Well, there's no doubt they want to be the superpower of the world, and they want to replace us. They say as much. So that it's very clear. General Tata, always good to see you, sir. Thank you very much for your time tonight.
Thank you, Martha.
Thanks.